Smooth 98.1. Here we are, going past 6:30 on a Monday morning, and it is Business Express as we get to talk about what's happening in the world of business. Good morning, Rotus. How are you?
Good morning.
Hi, thank you. Good morning, Sope. Good morning, Victa. Good morning to all our listeners, viewers out there.
Speaking about viewing, you can always find us up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos, and leave your comments to join the conversation up on the live stream so we can see them. You can also send WhatsApp messages into 0809 440 981 or take it to Twitter. Tag at Rotanquote and at Smooth981FM, and we'll be able to see your messages. Okay, so lots to talk about today. And where are we going to start, Rotus? The pensions?
I guess with the, sorry?
No, I was wondering where we're going to start. Go ahead.
The pension news is pretty interesting. On Friday, I guess while we were doing Tech Friday, later in the day, the PenCom, National Pension Commission, announced that you can now take about 25% of your RSA, your retirement savings account, and you can apply it towards a down payment for a mortgage. So, it at least gives some extra support to people who have trouble raising money to be able to put a down payment for a home. That's now that has been allowed by the Pension Commission, that should be some good news on the demand side of the equation for mortgages. There's still issues of the supply side with respect to where the homes are as far as availability, the type of home that your 25% of your pension will be able to get you. There's also the cost of homes. Will that 25% of your pension be able to get you a significant down payment? There's also interest rates. Interest rates are still pretty high. And so, cost of cement is high. So cost of building these homes is high. We don't have really long mortgage. I mean, some folks are on this. I hear we have a, 15 to 20. I haven't quite seen that yet. But in terms of 30-year and longer term mortgages that allow you to pay over the course of time, we don't really have that because developers in the real estate sector want to make their money back as quickly as possible. You don't see that many banks financing these mortgages. So there's a liquidity challenge in the mortgage sector. But it's still good news that you can, well, is it good news? I mean, some have said,
Rotus, it feels like good news, but I want to look at it differently. If you recall that the Pension Reform Act of 2014, it allows that 25% of your lump sum from your retirement savings accounts can be withdrawn if you're out of a job 4 months after your loss of job. You can get 25% from your pension account.
Yeah,
I wonder how many people can access it. It's very difficult. Do you get what I mean? You get to your PFA, that's your pension fund administrator, and they give you stories. You cannot even access your own money.
But that's them, because I know of people who have accessed their money and actually use that money to start up businesses.
4 months after a job,
or 4 months,
or after your years of service when you are 65.
No, young people. But
younger people,
like maybe a couple of years after.
Okay.
So you have to call. They are really strict on that. They've got certain guidelines that have to be met before you can access that. And funny enough, I was looking at a report from I think it was Chapel Hill Denham, where between 2009 and 2021, withdrawals have actually exceeded deposits into pension accounts.
Nigeria?
So you're seeing a situation where, and I think it's probably the economic situation around the country, lack of jobs, lack of opportunities, that there's more withdrawals coming out than money being put in. So it's still an issue, which tells you that you don't have that healthy of a job market to where there are enough pension funds going into retirement savings accounts. And more people are feeling the hits from the economy to where they're having to take money out. So that's still there. But that exists, Victor. So that and I guess they're stringent because they don't want you taking money out and then using it for other purposes than it's supposed to be, which is, I guess, unless you've been out of work and you have to show proof of that. But for the mortgage thing, again, if you're taking money out this early, what now happens to you when you are retired and you've already dipped into your pensions? Because strictly pension money is supposed to be used after you are, it's your nest egg, right? It's what you're supposed to use after you are retired and you're into your final phase of life.
But then, Rotus, when we look at how your income is shared, there are things that goes into, right? Food, transportation, shelter. So if you can use their pension funds for that, I mean, we've seen the prices of real estate and how the value goes up over the years. So, I mean, there's pros and cons, right?
Yeah. Look, it makes sense. It makes sense that that would happen. It's just that I'm just trying to balance that against saving for the future. But so there's an argument to be made that it works, and which is fine. And this is from what I'm seeing, it's being celebrated. It's just that there's still the issue of how far that money will go, what kind of home you can buy. We still have a housing deficit of, I don't know, they've been branding 17 million units around, but that number is probably higher now. And then interest rates, how far will the money go in being able to get you that down payment? So there's still a lot that needs to be done in terms of our mortgage sector.
All right, Rotus, we've got messages coming in. Michael Adetutu says, Pepple, you're wrong about not getting your 25%. I've done this, and a couple of people that I know have done that as well. Once you meet the requirements, an approval is sent to PENCOM, and once approved, within less than 3 days of the approval, you will get it.
Okay.
Who else do we have?
Well, there's a question of what the money is being used for, but that's cool. Okay, keep going.
Ben says, accessing that 25% isn't that difficult. It only requires a little bit of documentation. Can someone that has accessed the 25% for their for loss of job still be eligible for the mortgage arrangement? Question.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. If you've already withdrawn the funds for one other purpose, if you're without a job, how are you going to fund beyond the 25, beyond the down payments? How will you fund the other payments of the home? So I'm not sure if people who are out of work will be able to access this. I mean, I'll check, but I don't think logically they would allow that if you've already made a withdrawal for survival if you're out of work. I don't know how you fund the house.
Jonah from Isolo has a very interesting one here. He says, the pension story is a good one with life expectancy at 57, 58. The more you can get from your RSA before retirement at 65, the better.
Yeah, I do want to be the bad news bear here.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And one major problem hindering affordable housing for the average citizens is the Land Use Act, which gives the government enormous power, thereby limiting the federal government's plan for housing.
That's another issue. I agree.
Ben says, comes in again with saying the person later on gets a job and commences the pension contribution after they take their 25%.
Yeah. A lot of people attempt to do that. That's why, I mean, the PFAs have worked a model around it. They need to be sure that you're truly out of a job, because a lot of people want to just get that 25% out and then 75% later. I mean, 65 years is a long time from now. So, hey, if I can get 25%, why not try?
Right, exactly. Real quick, in aviation, this aviation matter, the Ministry of Aviation announced on Friday that they had secured, I guess, investors from the Ethiopian Airlines, and then they announced the Sovereign Investment Authority, the NSIA, and then they now backtracked on Saturday and said, oh, no, that's not, there was a mistake. That, very embarrassing.
Very embarrassing, really.
It just looks like Hadi Sirika just wants to get this airline airborne at all costs, and it just doesn't seem. I heard they're claiming Ethiopia Airlines has a stake. They haven't put any money forward, for what we hear. So that's another one that's yet to happen as far as aviation, as far as Nigerian Air and our national carrier is concerned. So that's still up in the air. Excuse the pun. And then real quick, the dollar is crushing currencies across the world. It is at an all-time high. I think our exchange rate now in the parallel market has crossed $700 Naira per dollar. I think it's 710 or 719. we can expect more pain on the parallel market side because it's just the dollar is just the yen is at an all-time low in Japan. The pound, you saw what happened. I don't know if you saw what happened with the budget announcements on Friday with the new government there. The pound has fallen to lows not seen in 1985. So just brace up, because it's it might be a bit tight this last quarter with where the dollar is right now.
Always good news.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Oh, look, I wanted to rant real quick about traffic. I had something I needed fixed at home, an appliance, and the person who was supposed to come fix it refused to come over the weekend because of traffic. Think about that. Think about the lack of productivity and the fact that this person was going to forfeit his earnings because he did not want to deal with traffic coming from one part of town to the next. We are really, really hurting ourselves by not addressing this traffic situation. There was a lot of rain, I think, on Friday night going into Saturday morning. That rain, the flooding from there is still affecting many parts of the city. We just have to do something. We got to do something because the productivity losses, they really amounts to billions that are lost when you can't serve people. And these are people who are in the services sector. When the services sector cannot operate because of flooding, I mean, that's not a mega city like Lagos. We shouldn't be there. We really should not be there.
All right, let's take this message in from Yinka Bolu. He's talking about the pensions. He says it's a good one. However, PENCOM needs to work closely with the Federal Mortgage Bank and those refinancing people because these current banks and companies running mortgages are just pure killers.
Yeah, they need more liquidity. He's right. He makes a good point with respect to. And by the way, inflation is outpacing pension returns. Just to put that out there, with inflation at almost 20%, pension returns are running at about 10, 11 year on year. So, there's still that issue that's there as well with respect to the returns they're getting. Now, there's been an argument that they should be allowed to invest in foreign securities, i.e. dollars, so that they can, dollar-denominated securities, so they can get better returns. But you can imagine what that will put on the demand for FX from the central bank, which is already under pressure from everybody else that wants to travel for school fees. Need dollars for school fees or medical tourism. So the pension funds, they're trying to see how innovative they can get in terms of return on investments for those pension money, because it's just, but then again, look at the flip side. The dollar is surging. So dollar denominated securities probably have higher returns, like some stocks. Even though the stock market is down, I think treasury bills are high. So there's a flip side to that argument. But again, demand for dollars, where will you get those dollars to go and invest when Nigeria has oil theft that is impeding her ability to earn FX? So, that's another issue. Oh, there's so much news. Sorry, INPC August, 94% of their revenue went to fuel subsidies. Since we're talking oil, almost everything. So there's that. It's just great news all over Nigeria this morning.
Right. Very great news.
It's just great news.
Before you bring us the second coming, let's end the show. Man, really interesting stuff. If you want to ask Rotus any questions, make sure you go up on Twitter. He is at Rotanquote. We are at Smooth981FM, and you can catch the replay of this show of Business Express up on youtube.com/Smooth981FM Lagos. Rotus, we shall see you tomorrow, 6:30 once again for Business Express.
All right, take it easy.
Rotus, your assignment, find one bit of good news. One.
I will try. I'll do my best.
No dollars just being eaten up everywhere. Something else. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Take it easy.
Bye. And coming up is going to be great music as we count down to 7:30 and Freshly Pressed.
Brought to you by InterSwitch, transaction solutions